All right, welcome back to the World of Tanks WCG 2012 National Finals here at New York Comic Con, brought to you by the Samsung Series 7 Gamer. I'm here with Nagatron, who just won for Team Curse, just won against Band Angels. It was pretty close, though. At first, you guys had that 2-game lead, and then they came back 2 games. What happened there?
Well, game one, it was just kind of a difference in strategy. We were able to cap them out. It was kind of I wouldn't necessarily say easy, but it's sort of a luck thing. You know what I mean?
Right, that fast cap going on there.
Game two was pretty much anybody's game, but Relics, our artillery, just absolutely lights out, just hit everything that came up, and that really helped win the game.
Right.
I didn't even shoot that well, so it ended up kind of making a big difference. Game three, we kind of had them, and then just we had a little bit of a face-hugging thing where people in the back couldn't get their shots off, and then ended up just coming back and biting us.
I thought for sure with that 5100 in the back, when he showed up, I thought it was over for Band Angels.
We were kind of torn between either just letting him reload and keep doing what we were doing, or getting on a double cap. And either one, if we had just stuck with something, it probably would have worked out a little better.
So there was some decision-making that just didn't happen? Is that what kind of went on?
It just sort of, things happen really quickly.
Right, I know.
Sometimes a player just makes a decision, and then people running it just go with it. They're like, all right. This is how we're doing it now. And then we played Lakeville, which traditionally, I mean, we were actually pretty good on that before the 8.0 map changes, but after that, I mean, we have no clue how to play it. And that was kind of why we chose it. We were like, well, maybe they won't have a clue
Maybe they
either.
don't have a clue either, right?
And we didn't play that as well as we should have. We just got absolutely manhandled by them on that.
The IS-3 got isolated, and just the one that came around them on the church there, I think
I was in T1 on that one, so I didn't get a very close-up view for what was going on. Our biggest worry was actually the Pershing getting out of the middle and coming back and to reset our 1390, because the 1390 spent 1 shot on the T1, so he would have only had 5 shots, and he couldn't have possibly killed the Pershing under any circumstance.
Right, so there was a lot of concern there about what the Pershing would do.
And then later we were like, oh, wait, the other T1's back too, and then just missed the shots on him, I guess. I mean, I hit him a couple times in the T1, but he ended up getting us both reset, really clutch play, and we kind of fell apart at that point.
Yeah, well, you brought it back in the last game there. That was a complete roll.
Yeah, game 5 was
it was rough.
It was intense. It's very different from how we would have played it before. We're usually pretty dependent on T50-2s and whatnot, but the big thing was one of their T32s kind of stepped a little bit too far forward.
I saw that.
And as soon as we saw that, real big on isolation and everything, just dumped both 1390s on him, got the Pershings in, and knocked him out, which gave us a huge lead. Friction ended up dying in his 1390. I was on reload, so I ran out. It was the 2 Pershings versus 2 1390s with 2 shots each.
Right.
That's a pretty much a given, right? They're not going to be able to get away on a map like Steps. It's so open that there's just no place to go. And so I just went back and made sure the T2 light wasn't getting it already. But at that point, it was pretty much ours. So, when you play against the best, a team like Band Angels, it's always intense.
Yeah.
And even if you've tried and tested a strat and you know it's perfect, there's still creeping doubts.
There might be more perfect, right?
Yeah, like maybe they realized the perfect strat and then came up with a perfect counter that wouldn't work against anything else.
Exactly.
But they know we're going to do it. It's like, I know what he knows, that he knows what I know.
It's all that meta game that's going on inside your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen next? I mean, what do you expect going into the next round?
Well, I believe the team name is Boishti.
Yes. I was just told that was the correct pronunciation, was Boishti.
I always prefer to call him Biscotti, but now that we actually know the proper name and show him a little respect and call him Boishti. They're pretty new to the whole tournament scene, from what I hear. They started out with UR1, but they're pretty darn good. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be here if they weren't worth it. So
they had to qualify. So,
but on the other hand, War and Peace is awesome. I mean, they went to UR1. They've been part of War before that. A lot of them were in MLP. So, if you guys don't know, those are pretty big clans in the game. Yeah. So, it's not going to be easy. I would probably say that the favorite going into it, if I had to choose, would probably be War and Peace. But I guarantee Boishti's going to take at least one game.
Hasn't been around long yet, so they have a little bit to prove. But we've seen that happen before, where someone new comes in and beats someone that was near unbeatable or everyone thought should have won. So it's not, you don't want to put your money down right yet, because
I've been on one of those teams that should have won and lost.
I know.
Lost a trip to Moscow over it.
I wasn't
it's
winking.
Not a sore spot.
I wasn't winking at all there. But so I'd be very curious to see how Boise pulls up, and then you guys will be against either them or War and Peace.
Yep.
I think, if War and Peace wins, you probably kind of know what to expect later. If Boise wins, I don't know. I don't think at that point
we've only played them once ever,
right.
And it was on a pretty open map, and I guess we were just over prepared for it or something. So they didn't get as good of a chance at us as they probably could have. But with the whole setup where they can the loser picks the next map or whatever,
right.
If they lose the first game against whoever they're playing, they can go to a map they're confident on. And obviously they wouldn't be here if they weren't good at playing their tanks. And when it gets
right.
down to that, all it takes is somebody not wearing a wet ammo rack or something like that, and then boom, you lose a tank.
Or as we've seen, those fires.
Everything swings.
Those fires will get you every
wet
time.
Wet ammo rack, automatic extinguisher. But
every single time.
We've got all the skills on these accounts, so it's fires are going to be
skills.
Few and far between.
But we saw that T-32 burn half the way down.
I set a 232 on fire with the 1390.
Twice.
Deadeye.
Twice.
Oh, twice?
Twice, yeah. It happened twice because it used this fire extinguisher the first time. It may have been the other 1390. I don't know. Someone set him on fire the first time because I saw it stop. And then it happened right away again. It was like, oh, the fates are against you.
And, the T-32, it's not like any of his crew members overlap or anything, so they have every skill.
Right.
So that's actually pretty crazy.
So, well, congratulations on the first round victory. Look forward to see what happens.
Thank you.
What happens with you next round. And stay tuned for the rest of the WCG 2012 World of Tanks finals here at New York Comic Con. We'll be back in a bit.